in the Chi-Town, my brother Earl Chisholm, brother in the Chi-Town on the front line, teaching the children, always in front of our baby's face, teaching the children. Shout out to Earl Chisholm. How about my brother CJ Shaw L? Salute frontline soldier carrying the flag on the highways and byways. How about you, my brother Tahuti, Chi-Town, Mecca, Tyrone Bay? How about those brothers out there at the Grand Major Temple? How about my brother Michael L? How about the Grand Sheik of Grand Major Temple #1 out of Chicago for the D. Bailey Hill portion? How about the Grand Sheik out of the 8th portion, out of the Shy? How about the Azim Hopkins Bay? How about my sister out of Detroit? You know what I mean? The Cook Bay sister. How about my brother, the young Fuquan Bay? Not the elder. He do plenty work, but the youngin is doing his thing. How about that, brother? How about my brothers out in Cali doing their thing? You know what I mean? Shout out to those who don't get the recognition. Shout out to those that don't grace the camera and do it for recognition, brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? They'll never get enough recognition. How about that? You know what I mean? They talk about what the Moors have done, man. Man, I can go to the highways and byways and bring Moors out here that's doing everything that they're supposed to do. But the only thing that's missing is you. You know what I mean? I know plenty Moors. I know plenty Moors doing everything that they're supposed to do, but the only thing that's missing is you. You the one talk about what the Moors have done. So what? What the Moors doing is what we're talking about. It ain't where you're from, it's where you at. It ain't what you done, it's what you're doing. That's where we at today. How about that? How about that? It ain't what you done, it's what you're doing. You know, Rakim said, it ain't where you from, it's where you at. So Harper Bay said, it ain't what you done, it's what you're doing. Take that back to the people. Anyway, we got 2 more brothers coming in, so I got something to say. While we wait for the 2 brothers coming in, and then we gonna get this thing on, we gonna get it on the road. Listen, family. Listen, family. No, brother, more Gnostic. Come on, more Gnostic. I love you, brother. My bad. Brother, I don't like when you said what the Moors have done the last 100 years, because I heard that argument. And the thing is, we still not liberated. So nobody can claim the fame of doing all that stuff when we still got the boot on our neck. The boot. No, we can't get the show on the road. We got one more brother to come in. Y'all stop rushing so much, man. Y'all slow down, man. See, that's what's wrong with us. We ADHD as a group of people. Calm down. I'm ADHD too. You know what I mean? But calm down. We got another brother to come in. We can't get the show on the road and we missing the brother, man. Islam Megalodon, salute. Hakim Bey, salute. How about that brother? How about that brother Hakim Bey out of the ATL? Always on the front line, on social media and in the public. Salute to the brother. Come on, man. Stop playing. Love Star Nelson back in the building. I knew she'd be back. Scarface, she'd be back. I knew she'd be back. I'm just playing. I'm only playing. Anyway, man, we're going to have a beautiful show tonight. This is going to be beautiful. Man, what happened to the album? We missing one brother. He came in and left out. You know what I mean? Man, we missing one brother, and we ready to go. But before he comes, he'll be back, right? Before he comes, I want to say first and foremost, I rise, giving praise to the great God of the universe, Allah. When I say I rise, I'm talking about I'm raising my thoughts. You know, I want this meeting to be fair. I want to be impartial. I'm not going to, this is not a discussion. This is a brotherly, respectable debate. And so I rise my thoughts to infinite wisdom that I may do this in a fashion that is fair and impartial. I give honor to the noble, illustrious prophet noble Drew Ali, because if it wasn't for him, there'd be no me. Matter of fact, it'd be me, but it's not the one that you're going to want to see. Let me rewind that. Let me get that. Spit fire. I used to spit. Anyway, if it wasn't for him, there'd be no me. Or there'd be a me, but it'd be the one you wouldn't want to see. You know, and I give honor to everybody that's doing the uplifting acts to uplift our people and take them out of the shallow grave of Negro, black, and colored, of foolishness, nonsense, and degradation. I give honor to all those that's doing the work, you know. So we're going to get busy in 1 second. I think we're waiting for one more brother. We're waiting for one more brother, and then we're good to go. So with that, let's go ahead and just let our brothers introduce themselves real quick, and then we're going to just move forward. I think, who we missing? I think we are missing, let me see. We are missing Aemer. I think we're missing Aemer. Aemer, are you there? Yeah.
Hey, for him right now.
Who is this, Shyaam?
Yeah, it's Shyaam. He on.
Okay, I see him. Okay, here we go, family. All right. So first of all, let's first introduce my brother. You'll see him right on the screen right there. To your right, brother Sharif Anael Bay. Brother Sharif, coming to the building, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you be. ODB style, who you be. Islam?
Islam, everybody. First, I want to rise and give praise to Allah, Almighty, eternal, incomprehensible. I want to give honor to His last prophet in these days and times, Prophet Noble Duality. I want to give honors to both sides to America, past the leadership. I want to give honors to my comrades in arms, I was men. I want to give honors to Moorish World TV, all of the listeners. I want to give honors, special honors to the host and creator, Taharka Bey, aka Off the Turnbuckle Bay. I want to give honors to my comrade in arms for over 20 years, founder of Amen Ra Squad, brother Ishmael Bey. And I want to give honors to all that are listening. I want to give honors to my brothers with the Murakush Society. Peace.
Peace. Next down the line is my brother Shyaam out of the Murakush Society. By the way, New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. Shyaam, peace, family. Welcome to the platform. Tell the people what you represent.
Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullah wa barakatuh. What's going on, everybody? I want to give honors to the platform. I hope we have a very productive discussion. I want to give honors to Sharif. Aemer, my comrade for 10 plus years, you know what I mean? And, we just get ready, you know what I mean? So, honest, let's discuss this and let's see what we can come up with for the people.
Peace and love. Next up, Ishmael Bey out of Syracuse, by the way. Coming to the chat, let the people know who you be, my brother.
Peace and blessings, King. Yes, sir. His brother Ishmael Bey. Definitely want to give greetings. Peace and blessings to all the family out there. Peace and blessings to the Murakush brothers, and definitely to your listening audience. Brother Taharka, it's always an honor for you to extend an invitation to us to come on your show in order to build. You deal with various topics, dealing with the Moorish dynamic. So it's always an honor to be here, brother. That's all I want to say. Thank you so much.
Okay, and last but not least, my good brother Aemer out of Murakush Society. Brother, come on in the chat, let the people know who you are, my brother. But you got that Thundercat, brother. Come on, you gotta bring that thunder, brother. I see the Thundercat. The Thundercat? Nah, I just glad. Brother, you might got a problem with his mic. Let me see. Aemer, are you there? Got a problem with his mic. I don't see a mic symbol. We might have to log out and come back in. Yeah, but you might have to inbox the brother, tell him log out and come back in. Because I don't even see a mic symbol or nothing. Let me see.
I'm on.
Now, you hear me now?
I can hear you, my brother.
Salaamu.
All right. You real choppy, though.
Let me relocate.
Say it again.
Do you hear me now?
Say it again. Yeah, you real choppy.
You hear me?
I can hear you, but you real choppy, my brother. We're gonna let that brother work that out real quick. I know he probably can hear me. So let's just start like this. So family, I wanna let y'all know I appreciate all y'all coming on here. Through Facebook, social media, all of us have had some words at some point in time. But I ask that from this point on, that we be men, not all caught up in our passions because we disagree with one another. That we be men and that we can have a discussion, win, lose, or draw, a debate, win, lose, or draw. We are brothers at the end of the day, and the same big boot that's on your neck is on mine, on Sharif, on brother Aemer, on brother Shyaam, on Ishmael Bey. To a certain degree, we are still oppressed. We are brothers in this oppression, sisters in this oppression. Our brothers and sisters this oppression. So at the end of the day, we are just trying to separate the truth from the falsehood so the people can move forward with whichever dynamic they see is legitimate and plausible for their liberation. We still may disagree on some topics, but we're brothers, and we got to get that through our head. Let's not turn this into the circus that we see on other people's platform, where we get into the buffoonery. I don't want to use those crazy words, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying all that name calling, all that pop shot. Let's just deal with the information. We have known to deal with the information. Sometimes I get worked up, but that don't happen in the debate point of view. In the discussion, you might be in trouble, but on the debate, I'm just going to moderate, keep my peace, and let the people do what they do. So let's just be brothers and gentlemen and be scholarly like we say we are on that point. So that's the rules. No cussing, no disrespect, just straight information, period, point blank, And with that being said, another thing is the way that this is going to play out. I want to explain these rules while my brother is getting his break. So what's going to happen is that it's going to start off like we have 4 questions each side, starting with the Moorish Americans represented by brother Sharif Bey and brother Ishmael Bey. 4 questions each side, and then Murakush Society. And these questions will be alternating questions, meaning that the Moorish Americans will ask a question to Murakush. Murakush will have to answer that question. Then Murakush will ask a question to the Moors. The Moors will have to answer that question responsibly. Okay, then it'll go back and forth, back and forth. Then the Moorish American will present their position on the questions that was answered, as well as I guess if you will, breaking down what they agree with or what they don't agree with. It'd be time. Each will have 20 minutes. And then Murakush will do the same. Each side will get the opportunity to rebut the arguments of the opponents. Speakers, you got to speak clearly. You got to speak slowly so people can understand, especially the Moorish World TV audience. Last but not least, Moorish Americans will present an affirmative. Moorish Americans on the affirmative team presents the argument in support of their position. That'll be 10 minutes. Murakush will do the same thing. Moorish Americans will present 15 minutes of resolution of where do we go from here. Murakush will present the same. And last, we're going to have a 10-minute rebuttal. I'm chopping it down so we can get through this because we started a little late trying to get this rolling. So, and each team will give a closing remark after the last rebuttal. So we're going to start with, let me see if Aemer in the building. Are you there, my brother? Hear me, my brother? He having mic trouble. Oh, my brother. Not sure what. But let's Shyaam,
Yes.
are you good while you getting prepared
Yeah.
to answer
We're
any
good to
questions?
go. We're good to go. I'm good to go. When he get ready, he'll get on.
Okay, cool. Okay, so between Brother Sharif, between Brother Sharif and Ishmael Bey, y'all will present the first questions, the first question, and Murakush will have, and I'm gonna put up the clock. I wish I could put the clock on the screen, but nevertheless, y'all can time yourself to make sure that everything is on up and up. But Murakush will answer that question. LMA, are you there, my brother?
Peace, peace. You hear me?
Yes, we got you, my brother. All right. So what we're about to do is, I just explained the rules. Hopefully you heard them. But if you didn't, you'll be able to catch it. Moorish America is going to ask the first question, and y'all will answer it. And present their position followed by America. So y'all will answer the question. There's no real time limit in this. So y'all, but let's just be reasonable with answering the question, and then just say you pass it after that, and then you ask the next question. So we can start with Brother Sharif asking the first question to Murakush. Let me get a pen so I can follow this closely. Brother Sharif, on you, my brother.
Islam. Yeah. So okay. First question to my brothers with the Murakush Society will be: what nation or country you are citizens or members of? Peace.
So that's the question. So that's the group question, correct?
No. Yeah, that's the group question. Absolutely. That represents the Moorish Americans. And then y'all can come up with a group question also after you answer that.
Well, the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna speak for me, and Aemer is gonna give his answer, because you might get too different.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Can we keep it concise? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it don't get out in this process. All right. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the Muslims. Thank you, my brother.
So the question was, what citizen am I a country of? That was the question. Just making sure.
Brother Sharif, can you repeat the question?
Yes, sir. I said, what country or nation are you all? You know, I express this to the group. If it's going to be answered individually, then that's fine as well. But the question is, and it was to the group, what nation or country are you a citizen or member of?
Just for clarification purposes, do you mean nation in the sense of ethnographical or ethnological?
Well, I mean by the definition of a nation, which would be a political community. So it has very little to do with ethnology. For instance, the United States has many different ethnologies. As a matter of fact, Italy has 3 major ethnic groups, but it's still one nation.
Yeah, but just because I wanted the clarification, the issue is there are ethnographical nationalities and ethnological. The United States is an ethnographical one. All right? Any modern nation state is a ethnographical nationality. So, and just to answer the question, the nation I'm a part of is Moor.
You that's it?
Pardon me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had to get something straight. Yeah. As far as the nation-wise, yes. The Moors are ethnological, is an ethnological nationality. Okay. And if anyone does the research, they would be able to find out the difference between the two. All modern nation states, and that definition is coming directly out of the United States Dictionary of Races and People in the sense of ethnological nationality, which is what Moor is, because it spanned various different countries. There's Moors in Mauritania, there's Moors in Morocco, there's Moors in Senegal. You know, there's various different Moors of different ethnographical nations, is my point.
The second part of the question is the citizen part.
I'm not a citizen. I'm not a citizen of any nation state.
Okay.
Okay.
Islam.
Could I add a point of clarification to my own question, brother?
Sure.
Is that okay? All right. I just wanted to make a point of clarification. You know, the brother used the term because the question was, are you what citizen or what country or nation? I said, are you a citizen or member of? Nationality and citizenship are not synonymous. I just wanted to point that out. Peace.
Islam. So let's let Brother Aemer answer the question if he wished to. If not, we can move on to y'all question. Aemer, you there, my brother?
No, I didn't get to hear his response, but continue.
Do you want to hear it, my brother?
Yes, if y'all don't mind. If he doesn't mind repeating it. If not, I'll just catch it next.
Could you repeat that again real quick?
Yeah, no problem. And you know, and it wasn't so much as a response, brother. You know, it was a point of clarification to my question, because the question again was, what nation or country are you all a citizen or member of? You began to speak about nationality, which is basically not, you know, it's off topic. That was my point. So my statement was, in clarification to my question, that nationality and citizenship are not synonymous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I answered the question in two ways. What's my nation and my citizenship status? I address both. For me personally, Aemer, he can address it from his angle, if you all will.
So Aemer, the floor is yours. Mute your mic, my brother.
Peace.
Peace, my brother. So did you get the question?
Yeah, if I'm correct, he said, what nation or country are we citizens of? And, you know, Shyaam answered it very plain and simple. We're Moorish. You know, the fact is that Moors existed as a nationality before the creation of the United States, before the creation of England, before the creation of pretty much all the modern nation states that exist today. He also touched on the fact that there is a difference in ethnologic nationalities and ethnographic nationalities. Now, I would beg to differ that nationality and citizenship are not synonymous in terms of U.S. law per se, because the fact of the matter is they deal with membership in an identifying group. Okay, now Moors are listed in colonial statutes before the creation of the United States as Moors. Moors are listed in several treaties with France, England, Spain, Portugal. I can go down the list as Moors. This is a nationality pre-existing the United States. You know, so it is what it is.
So for clarification, so you're saying that just reaffirming with Brother Shyaam saying you're not a citizen, but you're a member of the Moorish nation, basically.
No. I'm not a member of the Moorish nation. I'm a member of the Murakush Caliphate of America. Okay, the Murakush Caliphate of America is not the Moorish nation, has nothing to do with the Moorish nation. It's a separate entity, a separate body politic of Moors, recognized as Moors by judicial decrees. You know, so it is what it is.
Okay, Islam. So now the floor is yours, Shyaam. You can ask Brother Sharif or Ishmael Bey a question concerning the Moors.
My first question is Noble Drew Ali, or was Noble Drew Ali, a true Moorish American in the sense of what a Moorish American is? Was he a true Moorish American legally and politically? Is my first question.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Now, I'll qualify my answer with asking for a qualification from the people asking the question. We want to make sure understanding is understood. So as per my definition and the definition that Prophet Drew Ali taught on, absolutely. Now, we have to make sure and we have to put out here in this conversation your definition or what your definition is. So can we do that, please?
Well, I'll clarify the question. Was Noble Drew Ali, because he's a past tense. And before I get started, I want everybody to be clear that in no way, shape, or form in this discussion, even if I disagree, am I speaking ill of Noble Drew Ali. All right, that's not going to happen here. Just to somebody got to mute their line. All right, just to clarify the question, my question is, was Noble Drew Ali recognized legally and politically as a Moorish American by the United States government, and in particular, the state of Illinois?
Sharif?
No, well, that's a second question actually, but I'll answer that one as well.
Well, I don't mean to ask two questions. I just want to clarify so you don't necessarily have to give two answers. My question and phrasing it the first way is, if he's a Moorish American, then he would be known legally and politically to the body politic that he's a member of, i.e. the U.S. government, based on the definition of what a true Moorish American was. So that was my my perspective.
Well, what I'd asked you for, even in the first question, what I'd asked you for was clarification of your defining of a true Moorish American.
A true Moorish American.
That would more accurately answer the question.
All right, a true Moorish American, to my understanding, right, is someone who is supposed to be a descendant of Moroccans born in America, based on the definition that was provided by Noble Drew Ali. That's my understanding of it.
My answer to that is unequivocally yes.
From what I recall, it was specifically stated that Moorish Americans were descendants of Moroccans born in America.
So let me chime in real quick. Do you need, or do you, because he just answered yes, do you need a little bit of qualification to qualify his answer?
Not in particular. When we get to the actual debate aspect, then I have some problematic issues with him being Moorish American in terms of being legally and politically recognized as such. But I'll save that for the debate part. Right now, it's just Q&A as I'm under the impression of. Am I correct or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
So with that, are y'all satisfied? Are y'all satisfied with that portion? Because we're gonna let Brother Sharif or Ishmael Bey to pose another question to y'all, and then y'all can pose.
No. I'm fine to move forward. Aemer, you can let them know if you're fine to move forward, but I'm fine to move. I'm fine to move forward to the next question.
Okay, Brother Sharif or Ishmael Bey?
Go ahead, Ish.
Sure. There's been court cases where Murakush, they've used the title of Caliphate of a Mexim. Please show us where a Mexim exists. Thank you.
Just to start off with the answer, the situation with the lawsuits that a lot of people bring up, just want to clear this up, that was in about 2008, 2009. Okay, so in 2008 and 2009, we had an entity that was named Murakush Caliphate of a Mexim. Okay, and now that we have changed the name specifically through more research of a Mexim to America, and it has been such since 2011. Okay, because due to further research, Amexem is mythology as far as we're concerned.
Okay, so what's
Base.
So, brother Ish, do you want to rephrase the question, or are you happy with that answer? You good with that answer?
Aemer to give his answer.
Yeah, likewise. At the time, we thought that Amexem had historical backing, historical referenceable backing, and due to our auditing of the historical records, we did not find that to be true. Its origin with MSTA literature, and like he said, the name was changed in 2011, so it is now Murakush Caliphate.
Okay, so you started off naming your group after a mythical place. My question is then I guess for what's being.
Brother.
No, we didn't name it after a mythical place.
Is Amexem real?
All right. Well, let me just say this real quick.
Let's stop.
I'm asking brother Aemer. Hold on, brother Tarika, please. But I'm asking brother Aemer. Is Amexem real?
Ish. Murakush, 1 second. Ish, phrase the question. Let the brothers go, and then we move forward.
Okay, I just want to say this. If we're gonna make slick comments and then answer the question, you gotta give. If you're gonna throw a pop shot, you gotta give brothers a chance to respond to the.
Yeah. Hold on, Shyaam. Brother Ish, rephrase the question, give it to him, and then let them have the floor.
No problem. What I said was that then they had previously named. We were previously using a mythical name, and he said that it wasn't a mythical name. So I'm asking him: is Amexem real?
Islam. All right, come on, Murakush.
He's asking.
Well, I think that was already answered when we specified that upon auditing the historical records, we could not confirm the existence of a locale named Amexem beyond MSTA literature.
Okay.
So as far as if you want to know what the inspiration was for the corporate name, it came from Noble Drew Ali's Amexem references and designations. So if that's what you're asking, if you want to know what inspired us to name that entity, it was Noble Drew Ali.
No, that actually isn't my question at all. That isn't my question at all. The point that I wanted to make was that it was named after a mythical place that you're in agreement with. It was amended. It was corrected, and that it was amended. That was it. Nothing more, nothing less.
It wasn't corrected. It was changed.
Precisely.
Changed from Mexico to America
Aemer,
by will of our corporate powers.
What's the official name, my brother, for the people?
Hold on, L. Before we get into naming these different entities and stuff, it would be wise for people to just visit Murakush.society.org. See, we have several different entities formed for several different purposes. Murakush, as a movement, is an enterprise comprising several different entities comprised for several different purposes. So right now you're asking for the entity that we're using to move as our own government. And that entity is named and titled Murakush Caliphate of America Corp. Okay? Right. That's what that is. That's one of the several entities. Murakush Society is a historical society that is based around celebrating research and dedicating, celebrating the research of the Moorish heritage, history, and culture. That's a historical society. And we have several other entities that serve in the purpose to allow us to move as free Moors throughout this country and other countries as well. So just to put that out there so we don't nitpick around, that's what we're dealing with, okay? So if you want to know the name of that particular entity, that's the name of that particular entity.
All right, let's move forward. Brother Shyaam, pose your question, or Elaine, pose your question to the Moors.
Elaine, you can pose the third question.
Yes. We're on the third question, family. We're on the third question.
Oh, okay. The third question is, why does Noble Drew Ali's death certificate list him as an American black if he was recognized as a Moorish American by the government in which he lived?
Anybody want to touch that, Ishmael or
we'll both? Yeah, we can both deal with that.
Okay, cool. I'll go first.
You want to go first, or you want me to? How you want to handle it?
I'll go first, and then you can follow up. I mean, actually, it's pretty simple. The government did not list him as an American black first and foremost. It was his doctor, Dr. Clarence Payne Ill, that did that. And the fact of the matter is that the birth certificate was corrected in due time. Peace. Go ahead, Bo.
Yes, sir. Brother Taharka, can you pull up that link right there and take it to page 118, sir? We might as well present our evidence, right?
It's love.
I didn't know we were at that phase of the.
I'm answering the question. I'm answering the question.
You're only answering, brother. Y'all can answer.
Yeah,
I'm answering the question.
I heard the answer. I want to see the evidence, but the answer wasn't satisfactory.
That's all right. I'm going to satisfy it.
Hey, Shyaam, that's up for the people, brother. This is how they answering. You can answer in the same way that you choose fit.
Well, we're not done with our answer yet, so please let me complete it. On page 118, shout out to Brother Lord Abba Sheekway L. Shout out. What we have here from his book, 118, we actually have a copy of the death certificate. Page 118, is it coming up on there?
It don't want to come up.
Okay. It should load up.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Okay. Praise be to Allah. So it should be the page right above that one, brother. It should be this.
That one is not loading.
The one right above. Okay. So if you look at the death certificate itself, it says race or color is what it says. So, it doesn't just say race. They're ignoring the fact that it says or color. Prophet Noble Drew teaches that black according to science means death, and that's a death certificate. So of course they would be using the term black because he is dead. That's in the context of being dead. Why I asked them the first question was because they changed the name of their group, but yet they want to make Moorish Americans guilty of changing the death certificate. That's hypocrisy at the highest level. Individuals can change the name of their group. In fact, they even said that they have multiple names of their groups over and over and over again. They made that perfectly plain that they changed the name from the mythical name that they originally used, Murakush now. But for Moorish American, brother, I didn't cut you off. Don't do that.
Next, brother.
Right. Go ahead.
So my point is this. The same way that they changed their name, Moorish Americans changed the death certificate and then made it Moorish American once they found the error. Nothing more and nothing less. We're asking to be judged by the same exact standard that those two individuals are using themselves. Anything else is hypocrisy. Thank you.
All right, I'll take a first crack at this this response, and then L, you can jump in and get yours. I think it's intellectually dishonest to try to compare the two. We're talking about apples and oranges.
We're not getting into that's next, after the next question, brother. After the next question, you can answer. That's after the next question, brother. You can take your notes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, one thing that I think.
Go ahead, my brother. I'm gonna let you go, brother. Go ahead. But I'm just saying, I don't want to get bogged down on that point.
Right. I'm just saying, one thing Sharif has done, one thing Anael is doing, and one thing that I've done is we've tried our best to stick to what was presented, as opposed to putting in pop shots. If you're gonna throw pop shots, you gotta allow brothers to respond to the pop shot. That's all I'm saying. If you go be fair, we live and direct in front of the people. If you go throw pop shots, got a lot of response.
Listen, the thing is this, my brother. I don't want this to get off. I don't want
No. We very respectful, brother.
No, the floor is yours. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, let me say this. This is what I got to say with my time on the floor for this particular segment. It's intellectually dishonest to compare the two. We're talking about apples and oranges. The first technical difference, because we're all supposed to be technical here. The first technical difference is that Noble Drew Ali, let's go down the line of descent here. Noble Drew Ali said that he was a Moorish American. And he said this, and that all Moorish Americans must be recognized by the government in which they live. Am I right or wrong? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Did he say that or not? Right. So when you get a death certificate, he just brought up the doctor. The doctor happened to be an L. Oh, okay. Wow. Well, because the doctor, that's even worse. I didn't know that the doctor was an L. If you're saying we're dealing with a death certificate, and you're going to say that they're dealing with the science black because black means death, and then you're putting that down as the identity, that makes no sense. That is not a satisfactory answer, and that answer is insufficient to the real question of why doesn't his birth certificate say Moorish American instead of Black American in the first place? See, he did not need to have to research anything to figure out that he was a Moorish American before his death. Am I correct? He said he was a Moorish American. Whereas the difference is in our situation, studying Moors that came before us, we thought at that present time that a Mexim was sufficient, only to find out through further research that it was not sufficient, and it's pure mythology in the sense that it only exists in MSTA literature. They're not the same. One deals with identifying one's ethnicity or national origin or nationality on their death certificate. The other one deals with dealing with a corporate name. And this is other thing that's disingenuous. Saying that we have several names for our group. That's a lie, that's intellectually dishonest, and that's not true and correct. I specifically said that we have an enterprise composed of several different entities for several different purposes, okay? That does not mean that all of our names for our companies are just DBAs attached to one company. That shows the lack of intellect, the lack of knowledge in terms of corporate science. They are not the same thing we're talking about here. Noble Drew Ali changing, Moorish Americans coming after the fact, which I acknowledge is a great thing. That's what Moorish Americans were supposed to do. They were supposed to come and change the identity, change that on there. But the fact that they had to change it in the first place is proof that Noble Drew Ali's identity, his status as a black, was never corrected. So that's what I want to respond to that. And
by himself. It was not corrected by himself. He did not correct it himself. It was not corrected until what? The 80s or the 90s? I don't know. Ishmael or Sharif, can you throw the death certificate back up real quick? The other thing you said was that you tried to highlight was an L, which I'm not really sure he was, and then I would like you to pull the death certificate up so we all can see that. But that's neither here nor there. The fact is, the document comes from the state vital statistics. It does not come from a private individual. It comes from a person employed by vital statistics.
Can I answer this?
No. We're gonna have 20 minutes in this section. We're not gonna get stuck right here. Let's move forward. Because I know we have 20 minutes, and a brother will be able to, Brother Sharif and you will be able to expound on that to give clarity, and they can.
I just wanted to make a 10-second observation. Brother Aemer asked the question, why did Noble Drew Ali change his own death certificate? I call that checkmate.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Let's stop.
I never said that. I never said that. Hey, brother, I never said anything about Drew Ali changing his own death certificate. I specifically said he did not correct his status before he passed on. This is why Moorish Americans, 70 years later, tried to correct it from Black American to Moorish American, as what you just showed a few minutes ago. And the date on that is either in the 1970s or the 1990s. We talking about 70, 80 years later.
Let's not get stuck right there, brother. That's one point. We got a lot more to go through, brother. Let's not get stuck right there. We can address that in a minute. You can address that in your 20-minute dialogue. Let's just move to the 20-minute dialogue because we got stuck right there for a minute. So now what we're going to do is Moorish Americans will present their 20 minutes. Who just asked the last question first? That will decide.
I asked the last question on that, so it's actually supposed to be their turn to do their presentation.
Okay. So it's y'all turn to do the presentation now because we killed a whole bunch of time right there.
They asked the last question. The brother Ill asked the last question.
Oh yeah. That's right. He did. Why was Black on the birth certificate, on the death certificate? So the Moorish Americans got to present their presentation. I'm going to put the clock.
No, I get the last question. Actually, I get the last question. They asked 4 questions. We asked 4 questions. This is the last question we supposed to.
Right, come on, brother. I was going to skip the last question, Rome.
No, they got 4 questions in. You gotta let us get 4 in. You know what I'm saying?
I thought everybody had 3,
and then they can do their presentation. So it's good.
Oh no! What presentation you talking about? Y'all supposed to go for 20 minutes after this question, then we go for 20 minutes after the.
Absolutely. Come on.
Wait, all right. So the question is this. All right. Is Moorish American a nationality according to the definition, the legal definition of what nationality is?
Yes, it is. Next.
All right, that's Ishmael Bey don't have a response. That's it. Yes. All right. Well, we'll expound on our question. We'll expound on our points on those questions in our 20 minutes. Y'all free to go do what y'all going to do. Now, I'm just going to say, if pop shots is thrown, you got to let us throw our pop shots too when our 20 minutes come in.
Hey, brother. Only thing I'm saying, let's not let the train go off the track.
No doubt.
You know what I mean by that.
So keep it simple. We're gonna keep it civil.
You know what I mean? And brother Ish, brother Sharif, let's not let the train go off the track. Let's just get this information and let's see what makes more sense. Brother Sharif or Ishmael Bey, y'all can take 10 minutes apiece, or y'all can just present a single solo.
Sure, absolutely. I'll be able to enhance whatever Brother Sharif is going to expound on. I'm sure he's more than ready to handle it. And please, Brother Sharif, I'll give it to you, the floor.
Brother Sharif, are you ready? Brother Sharif, you there?
I just want to also make it clear for the record, no pop shots were taken at all. The death certificate was placed up there, and that's all we were dealing with. So they need to stop with all of that.
No, the pop shot we're talking about.
Whoa.
No. You only put up the amended.
Don't act.
Amended. You only put up the amended document. You did not show the death certificate.
Oh no, it wouldn't come up. That was on the computer.
I'm sure it would come up, no doubt.
Brother, you seen it on the screen, brother. I just kept refreshing it. Come on, brother Shyaam. I kept refreshing it. It just wouldn't come up.
It was up. I saw it. But I'm just saying, when it comes to the pop shot, we're talking about the personal shots and the actual personal attacks on the actual entities that we're dealing with. We didn't take any pop shots at the MSTA and say anything about, just don't go there. If you don't want it to go there, just don't go there. We can go there though. You know what I mean? But we don't have to, is my point.
There's no threats or anything that's taking place. Only thing was dealt with was that something was changed and amended, just like the death certificate was changed and amended. That's all. That was the only example.
The same. That's just like me saying.
All right, so look, we wasting a lot of time with this. I'm trying to wait for Brother Sharif to get in so he can present his. I'm
here, brother. Islam.
Because we got come on, man. We're not gonna let the train get off the track. Brother Sharif, the floor is yours. You have 20 minutes. Let's get it.
All right. So I got 20 minutes to do what? What am I doing, brother, man?
To give a presentation on what you choose to, whether you choose to discredit what Murakush stand for, or to support some of the questions that you answered, or some of the whatever the question was. If you want to discredit some of that, like the birth certificate thing, you can speak on that. The black thing, you can speak on that.
Okay.
But whatever you choose to speak on, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, this is not going to take 20 minutes. It take a few minutes for me to say what I need to say. First and foremost, let me just say this. This thing sounds wild savage right now. It really, really does. With the cutting off and all this other nonsense. I mean, come on, all of us are better than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute mics, brother. That's gonna be.
And I mean, for real. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick. My brother Ishmael Bey didn't cut nobody off. As a matter of fact, what he addressed, now, and I'll say this real quick, and then I'm going to go into what I wanted to say. What you all took as a pop shot was him literally repeating your own words about the term of Maxim. You all called it mythology. And he said, okay, so you named your organization after a mythological entity. Hold on.
Is it still this 20 minutes?
And that's an error. That's an error, because the term in Maxim, it was one word. It was one.
20 minutes.
We're gonna have to do this another way. You understand? We're gonna have to do this another way.
Go ahead, brother. You're 20 minutes. You good. No response allowed. Go ahead, brother Sharif.
All right. First and foremost, one thing I give honor to Moorish Society for is definitely not. One of the things I honor them for is not masquerading what they're teaching or what they're espousing as Moorish science or as the teachings of Prophet Noble Ali. I salute them for that. There's a whole bunch of knuckleheads out there that are doing that, masquerading under the name, and they teaching something totally foreign. The fact of the matter is they recognize that what the Prophet taught and what we espouse and support, and what they teach and espouse are not the same thing. We are not. I respect that. Now, to speak to what the Prophet taught, and this is for clarification for everybody. Real simple. The Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish movement is an inclusionary organization. It teaches inclusion, not separation, right? That's just the fact. It teaches separation. The bottom line about racism and the oppressor is this: it's not to murder and kill our people. It's to do so while maintaining the illusion of the moral high ground. The ultimate objective of racism, quote unquote, white supremacy, is to prevent our full participation in American society, even though we are included, like it or not. So the Prophet set up the organization and the way for the organization to go that we can maintain our cultural and social autonomy and yet still reap the full benefits of American citizenry. The whole issue of the birth certificate thing, and let me touch on that too. When the Prophet said in Act 6 to be recognized, the recognition is not legal on paper. Nationality is not legal on paper, never was, never will be. The recognition is social recognition. There is no law in the books that says we now hereby declare that you are Negroes and black and blah, blah, blah. That's a social recognition, and it just so happens that society in a nation determines the laws for the protection and preservation of itself, its society. So the laws reflect the opinions of the society. So when it says recognize, when the Prophet said recognize, he's talking about social recognition. You make it real that way, not on paper and not on any kind of filings. You make it real on the ground in reality. That's all I need to say. We can go on further, people.
Ish, you want to add on?
Most certainly, brother. What I'm going to post up is the expatriation to show what Noble Drew Ali was trying to do as far as tying Moorish Americans to understand that we are Moorish American citizens and being proud to be citizens of the United States of America as a distinct cultural group, and recognizing our cultures in specific. Again, also recognized by resolution number 75 in 1933. So if we pull up what the rights of expatriation, is it possible that you can pull that up, brother, just so they can get an understanding of it? What happens is that when you When you renounce your rights, you'll see the section that says loss of U.S. rights. When you renounce your citizenship, you lose the right to live and work in the U.S. And then number two is you will not be able to vote in the U.S. elections. Being Moorish Americans means that we in Syracuse, New York, we have council people. We have people that are embracing the political power that we have as citizens in the United States of America. For them to become a mayor one day, for them to become congressmen, for them to become senators or anything else that they wish to be, what it means is that we're able to bring an influx of jobs into our community. And COFA community set up in Syracuse, that's for economics. If Brother Sharif, can you expound a little bit of what the Sankofa district is and how important it is being established by a Moorish American? Can you expound on that, brother?
Yes, I can, brother. The Sankofa district is a district that we, that we culturally branded, bottom line, through our representative, Councilman Khalid Bey. We culturally branded it just like the Chinese have Chinatown, just like the Koreans have Koreatown, just like the Italians have Little Italy. We branded a section of the city, culturally branded it. Now, anyone that knows anything about city planning or city government understands that when you culturally brand an area, you have now laid the foundation for economic control of the area. And so we made those steps a number of years ago, and we're capitalizing on it. Our next step is actually forming a Moorish American community of homeowners, Moorish American homeowners right there in that district.
So then by us establishing this particular specific district, we're able to set up specific jobs in these areas. We're able to put jobs in place, and we're able to network on another level, also being a blueprint that's able to be repeated in other cities. So this is what we're doing by using the political entity. When you expatriate, you cannot vote. You have no voice. Even if you don't apply your vote in a specific vote, say the choice is between Hillary Clinton and Trump. Okay, you choose not to vote there. But, Tip O'Neill said that all politics are local. So your power comes from your local representatives. You having a voice to embrace this particular part can put jobs in your community, and it gives you that power. Prophet Noble Jalil set a beautiful example by what he was doing in Chicago, him embracing the local politicians there, moving as a political entity. And by moving as a political entity, what you're able to do is, again, consolidate your power in that particular city, and then it expands over to Detroit, then back to New Jersey, then to New York. This is the power that you have, as opposed to taking the approach of expatriation. So again, the third part is that you will not be entitled, if we go back to that page of loss of U.S. rights, it says you will not be entitled to the protection of the United States overseas. I'm going to Turks and Caicos soon. That means that I can go to an embassy and I can say, look, over in this country, something's popping off in that country. I'm protected as a Moorish American, having my rights as a full citizen. If I expatriate, I might not even get to that country. So these are certain things that we have to understand, that the power that maybe someone else's approach may be in giving up is something that you should be able to embrace. It ties you to the land itself. Your power comes from your citizenship as a landowner. So again, some of the things that you may give up as expatriation, who knows if you have to give up your veterans' rights. If you're already a veteran, you may already have your rights as homeowners, or being able to put down something for your VA loans, or something as far as for your medical loans. You don't give up things. You don't give up your Social Security, but there are other things that you really have to consider when you're taking the route of expatriation. What I do love about what Murakush does is that they really do dive into different aspects of history, into different aspects of law, and to challenge all of us as individuals, as brothers and sisters, in order to move and advance forward. It is all trial and error. And when we do find out that we're in error, there's nothing wrong with correcting the error. That's really the point that I've been trying to make since day one. Knowledge is ever expanding. Knowledge is ever growing. So if you're coming to a new body of knowledge, we all have to be willing to change as individuals. If I'm incorrect about something, I have to be willing to put my ego aside and say, I'm going to change my ways. And all I'm saying is that if someone else catches an error and they correct that error, that's not something that you hold against someone. That's a process that we should all go through, because that's what makes us scientists. We are Moorish scientists. Brother Sharif, did you want to finish anything?
Yes, sir. Apologies, but I've got some serious, through the weather up here, I got some serious connection issues. But I caught the last tail end of what you said. Again, the point you made about expatriation. Again, without being a citizen, and a citizen simply means a member of a political community or a nation, and thereby protected by the right, or they're protected, you know, by the government of that particular political community that serves it. When you're not a citizen, you're a stateless person. When you're a stateless person, you're subject to any of the names, inferior names, mistreatment, and abuses that citizens care to bestow upon you. And it doesn't matter what filings you make or what court or you know what courts you're in. When the society you're in does not recognize you, when the society you're in does not recognize you, then you have issues. And especially when you do it to yourself and you say you are not a member of that political community and you can't name a political community or nation that you are a member of, you are a stateless person. And so you do it to yourself in that respect. Isn't that, that makes you your own oppressor. Peace.
And we can't leave out the other points in this, is that any children that you have who are born after your renunciation will not receive U.S. citizenship from you. They receive U.S. citizenship from another parent, from birth on the U.S. soil, from naturalization later on in life, etc. So your children, through you, will not have citizenship. Understand that. I just want the people to understand, because we're going to put the link up in the forum for anybody that wants to expatriate. Knock yourself out.
I got
the other part is, go ahead, brother. Please go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
One more thing as it relates to nationality, and I want to put that out there in terms of the definition. Nationality is that quality of character that arises out of the fact a person belongs to a nation or a state. There is no such thing as national, as per that definition, which is Black's Law Dictionary definition. As per that definition, there's no such thing as nationality minus citizenship. There's no such thing. They go hand in hand. They're not synonymous, but they go hand in hand. Nationality is a quality of citizenship, of being a member of a nation or a state. That's just what it is. And so to the issue of the question about Moorish American being a nationality, where it says we're descendants of Moroccans and born in America, there's a number of types of descent nature. My brother Ishmael Bey is an expert in the ethno-history as it relates to that, or, you know, the ethnics, you know, part of that. And you all yourself have stated that there were Moors here before there were Moors, or the existence of Moors before the United States, which we agree with wholeheartedly. But there's also political relation, since nationality is talking about, you know, aspects of nationhood, not nationhood as in total, but aspects of nationhood, or a component of nationhood, or component belonging to a nation. It makes sense that you would be talking about a political relationship. A political relationship. So we know that during the particular time of slavery, or during the time of the transatlantic slave trade, that the Moroccan Empire controlled large parts of North and Northwest Africa. So regardless of ethno-history or tribe or whatever, from the political perspective, from the imperial perspective, we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. Peace.
And also the beauty of what Noble Drew Ali teaches, as my final point, is that I'm not a member of a temple. I've never been a member of a temple, and I'm a Moorish American member of the temple for many, many years.
Right.
Pulling from the same exact teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It covers that vast of Moorish Americans, those who've never stepped foot in the temple in their life, to those who are dedicated to hold the temple down on the day-to-day, every single time. That's how vast it is. Other groups may have prerequisites like giving up citizenship, or someone else may have to say that they proclaim X, Y, and Z. That's their structure. But what I'm saying is that there's absolutely no comparison to what any other group can offer compared to what Moorish Americans can function under the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Thank you.
Facts.
So y'all done? That's it?
That's it? Y'all good?
Yo, Al, before you, I see you got the references up.
No, my brother.
I'm gonna go 10 minutes.
1 second. Brother, Ishmael Bey and brother Sharif, y'all done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm complete. Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Let me reset the clock. The floor is yours, brother Murakush. Let's go.
Hey, Al, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take this 10 minutes, and then you come in with the 10 minutes with the, I see you got the references up. There's a couple of things that I want to address. I don't know what the people perceive about Murakush society, but I would strongly suggest, if you think you know about what we're doing, you should be thoroughly researched. So you should go to MurakushSociety.org or .com, okay, to really, if you want to know what we teach, okay, because I don't know why you brought up expatriation, but I'm glad you did. In Murakush Society, we have options for Moors. Now, let me say this from the beginning. I don't actually see that there's a conflict between the Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Drew Ali, and Murakush Society. We're all Moors, and well, at least I know we say we're Moors, and we identify as Moors. I don't know about the Moorish Americans, if they, because I see, we'll get to that later, but Sharif said something before in the video after the Reggie debate where he said they're not Moors, they're Moorish Americans, descendants of Moors, but they're themselves are not Moors, but we'll get to that. My point is this: the Moorish Science Temple of America does not provide certain tools that Moors need to operate daily, contractually, legally, and politically, and religiously in many ways, as Moors, okay? The Moorish Science Temple of America does what Sharif Bey had stated. You know what I mean? It's a religious organization, nothing wrong with that. It's to preserve the cultural and the heritage, it's, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But it does not provide a status correction. It does not provide remedies that Moors are facing daily, okay? Now, to this about expatriation. Well, before I get to expatriation, let's get some back history. This loss of citizenship and what this citizenship is about. During the congressional hearings, when the 13th Amendment was being passed, right? The discussion came up. It said that the Negro is free. Okay, he's free. But free is not a status in law. This is what the record reflects at the congressional hearings. Free is not a status in law. Because in order for the Negro to obtain the rights or obtain certain rights that they did not have, they'd have to have the rights preserved in medieval England, i.e. or common law of England. Because we know, and you can see it every time they swear in a new Supreme Court justice, they say that they're going to uphold the common law of England, okay? So the common law of England means that all of the laws, the treaties, and everything involved in there, from the medieval era to the colonial era, would have to have been preserved for the Negro in those laws for him to obtain those type of rights today, okay? Well, it just so happens that Negroes don't have rights in the common law of England. Moors do. You cannot find Moorish American in the common law of England, in the treaties of England. We have a treaty in our book. Anybody can get it at MurakushSociety.org. This is a 400 years worth of treaties in this book, okay, that we've compiled. And one of them is from 1714, okay, between the Queen of England at the time and one of the sultans of Morocco, okay? And in this treaty, it says that the Sultan of Morocco is the ruler of all of West Africa, okay? Now, why is that important? That's important because anybody coming from West Africa, in terms of the common law of England, is under the subject or under the jurisdiction of the ruler of Morocco at the time. And this is now part of common law of England. All right, the reason that's important is because we're gonna freeze there. When the 13th Amendment was passed, it deprived the state police powers, which is why they passed the 14th Amendment. That allowed for us to be here and not be citizens. We talk now with I know what the Moorish American teaches. I know what you're going to say we're not Negro, Black, and colored Moors, but Drew Ali didn't even fix that with the government, the said government in which he lived. So as far as the government is concerned, prior to the correction of that death certificate, he was an American Black. He was a Negro. We have the death certificate in this book. This is our status correction course book 1. Everybody need to go check that out. It says here that he's an American black on the death certificate. And I do not see any L's as the doctor in the document. So I don't know what document that was pulled up. It's on page 90 of the status correction course book 1. And then we have the amended copy in here as well. I know y'all can't see it, but we got the evidence. That's on page 91. All right. So Drew Ali didn't fix that issue in his lifetime. Okay. Now the reason this is important is because when people say expatriation, because people know that that's one of the things we advocate. We advocate that Moors change their racial and national origin status. Okay, we have members of Murakush who are citizens of the United States, who's going to remain citizens of the United States. We advocate that. We advocate that we need some Moors who are going to remain citizens to change things inside the country, and we need some Moors who are outside of the jurisdiction so they can do things outside. This is the only way we're supposed to work together. The problem is people dislike that we teach certain liberation tools. Now here, check this out. In the book, Status Correction, Course Book 1, of course, you can pick up at MurakushSociety.org or .com. We have in there the actual form that when you expatriate, if someone's interested in expatriating, they fill out or complete a form called the Status Adjustment Form provided by the Department of State that says you're changing your citizenship status to non-citizen to a permanent resident alien. Pause right there. Let's pause right there. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Status adjustment form. Let's pause right there. Okay. Yikwo, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, L, but I know it's Yikwo versus Johnson, and maybe a different type, but it's Yikwo. Proves that there's no loss of rights that foreign nationals have in the United States. A permanent resident alien or a foreign national can vote in every election except the presidential one. In that case, Yikwo or Yikwu stipulates that foreign nationals are entitled to equal protections under the 14th Amendment. So every right that a U.S. citizen has is afforded to foreign nationals, whether they're citizens of this country or not. Okay, now you got to know the different statuses within these things. Now I'm gonna wrap it up in 2 minutes to give Elle the last 10 minutes. You also talked about changing the birth certificate. We're supposed to grow with information. We are supposed to grow with information, and it is exactly why the status correction, as we've created that term in 2010, we created that term. Everybody using it, they're applying it to UCCs and that ain't got nothing to do with it. It has to do with changing your racial and national origin status with the United States or whatever government it is that you're with, because you're down as black. Noble Drew Ali didn't fix his in his lifetime. Now I congratulate the Moors who did come and correct it or amend it. Alhamdulillah, that's perfect. However, he himself did not change that or correct that in his lifetime, which leads me to say that Moorish American is not a nationality. It's a religious identity, but it's not a nationality, because if I ask the Moorish Americans who are on the line right now, what does their passport say their nationality is? It says USA. If you get a card from the Moorish Science Temple of America, there's nothing on it that says you're a Moor. It says you're a citizen of the United States of America. Now, becoming a United States citizen of America may have been a great thing for the brothers and sisters back then. But if we take a look at brothers like Ball Bay, who got killed for nothing in his FedEx uniform, and we look at other Moors who are going through a lot of problems, there's clearly something that the Moorish Science Temple is not doing. They're not creating remedies for real life situations. Nobody wants to be a Moor if there's no benefit in not being treated as a Negro or having some recourse if you are treated as a Negro. Okay, these things don't exist. So with that, I'll take my 10 minutes to digress. You got the floor, L.
Facts. Okay, first and foremost, the brother Sharif said earlier, in terms of talking about social recognition with the terms Negro, black and colored, and I disagree with his position on that. The fact is, if we look at the Negro Acts, for example, of South Carolina, 1790, if you review those acts, there are sections in those acts which specify that the term Negro to enslaved Berbers, not free Berbers, not free Moors, not free Asiatics, not free Lascars, but those who were enslaved. So it is a statutorily created designation, identity, if you will, per se, and status. And it's synonymous with slave, and that's a fact. And then we can move on. The death certificate, again, I never saw no L on there, but whether or not the guy's name had L on it matters not, because he was an employee of the state of Illinois. A private individual cannot draft the death certificate and then come submit it to the state of Illinois and that be filed as the death certificate. The death certificate that you bear in your possession, or the copy thereof, in fact, is a government issued document. It is a state of Illinois issued document, and it acknowledges Noble Drew Ali as an American black. That was not corrected Temple until the 70s or the 90s. I don't know, you guys are more specific with that, but it definitely wasn't corrected during the lifetime of Noble Drew Ali. That's a fact. Now, in terms of voting rights, foreign nationals can vote on a municipal level, they can vote on a county level, they can vote on a state level. A foreign national, as of right now, cannot sit the office of president, but he can run. He can run. And in fact, there are several different groups right now pushing for legislation to make it lawful for a foreign national to actually become president of the United States. Whether or not Congress is going to pass that is beyond me, but that's what's in the works right now. And aside to that, in terms of politics, you have several different political action committees in this country that are owned by foreign nations with corporate interests pushing for legislation and protect their commerce. This is the game. And Moors need to step up to the plate, because, you know, you're sitting on the bench, you know, looking at the playing field, and you're not out there getting your cleats dirty. You know, it is what it is. Now, just real quick, I just want to show everybody an example of the types of documentation that our members are getting upon completing step 2 correction volume 1 book. Here's an example from the Supreme Court of the state of New York correcting our brother Akeem bin Yahya El-Olu, his status from black, African American to Moor, specifically. As it is spelled.
You got to read it for them, L, because they ain't pulling it up on the screen. You got to read it for them.
I'm sharing it.
Yeah, but they can't see it. I can't see it on the main screen. He got the clock up on the main screen. You see what I'm saying?
There you go, brother. There you go, brother. I don't see your split screen, brother.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm inboxing it.
There you go.
Now.
Bro, you should have. What you should do. Hey, brother. Let me stop the clock real quick. Brother, what you do is you can put it on the side and send me the link, and then I can screen share it. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't know you was trying to raise it up, but it's up to you to raise and go as you wish. But I can grab your thing and put it up, but you're able to do that yourself. But if you want me to do it, just put it on the side chat. You follow me?
All right, chat. I'm looking at it now.
That's right in Google Hangouts. In Google Hangouts, there's a side track, the group chat.
Yeah, I see it. I'm trying to open it now. All right.
Did you see where Ishmael put his at? If you would have put it there it is. There you go. I got you. So look, I'm gonna go in.
You know, let me just say, you know, these type of court orders that our members are getting nationwide states is just more proof that you know, like Shyaam brought up earlier, we can find more in the United States Immigration Dictionary of Races and Peoples. We can find it in treaties. We can find it in statutes pre-existing the United States and at the time of the creation of the United States. This is what the courts are recognizing our members as Moors. You know, it is what it is. So when it comes to
You gotta read
what our
it. You
nationality
gotta read
is,
it. You gotta read it because you know it's up, but anybody can't read that. Just read it for them real quick if you want to.
Wait a minute.
You good? I'm gonna start the clock back up.
Green went.
You gonna read it, Al? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it.
Oh, let me see where you at. Where you at?
Pull this joint up.
Let me
There you go. I'm gonna read it right here. This is a court order from
You have it?
yeah, I got it right here. At term of the Supreme Court of the State of New York, held in and for the County of Erie at Buffalo, New York, February 2nd, 2017. It says in the matter of
Peace. I got cut off. I had to get back on through the phone.
You good?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a second to read the joint for you real quick because I was saying read it, but people wouldn't be able to see it. It says in the matter of the application of Hakeem bin Yahya El Olu, black African American, for leave to assume the race nationality of Moor. Upon reading and filing the petition of Hakeem bin Yahya El Olu, verified the 3rd day of January 2017, praying for leave to correct Hakeem bin Yahya El Olu's race nationality to Moor in place of present race nationality, in the court being satisfied by said motion that it is true and there is no reasonable objection to the correction of race nationality proposed. Now, on motion of Hakeem bin Yahya El Olu petitioner, it is hereby ordered that the petitioner Hakeem bin Yahya El Olu, having been born on January 11, 1972 in Buffalo, New York, whose birth certificate, birth numbers, etc., is hereby authorized to assume the race nationality of Moor in place of present race nationality. And it is further ordered that this order be on which it was granted be filed in the office of the county clerk of Erie. Anybody could go to the Murakush Society Facebook page and pull it right up. Okay. Now, if Noble Drew Ali had did something similar, then his death certificate would not say Black American or American Black. It would say Moor or Moorish American, like that court order says. Now, every member in Murakush, anyone who follows us and goes to the status correction course book 1 and 2, are instructed to take these precautions so when we die, we don't have Black and African or African American or Black American on the death certificate. That we would be recognized as Moors by the said government that we are existing in. Okay, that's what we need to have. That's what we are bringing for Moors, and that's something the Moor Science Temple doesn't do. And I don't know why, for the life of me, they always hating on us promoting this, because it has no conflict with what they teach and do, because they don't offer status correction. And the proof and the evidence is Noble Drew Ali's death certificate.
Is it? Y'all good?
We got 3 minutes left. You got something to say, L? You got to take it off mute. You got to take your joint off mute. We still got 3 minutes left. You got the floor, L.
Peace. Yeah. And, to add on, it was said earlier by the opposition that if, simply because of expatriating, one loses what was referred to as U.S. rights. U.S. rights in terms of U.S. citizens. That information was misconstrued. You see, treaties guarantee Moors equal justice, equal protection, jury rights. These things are discussed in the 1790 Sundry Free Moors Act. They're discussed in Citizenship, Expatriation, and Protection Abroad by the United States Department of State, a book that they put out during the time of Noble Drew Ali, which also discussed that many Moors lost their nationality by becoming citizens of countries that were in treaty with the Moorish Empire. And I'm done.
All right. So with that, our next step is this. All right, we did the 20-minute.
Oh, we still got a minute left. We still got
Okay, I thought y'all was done. Come on with it, my brother.
Yeah. You know, another thing is, you know, this concept of sovereignty. Now I'm just gonna run this down. Okay, some of us Moors are striving for sovereignty. Some believe that staying citizens and stuff like that. Like I said, we believe Moors should be you know, citizens and non-citizens, both groups working together. But those of us who want our independence and want to strive for sovereignty, we're often frowned upon, okay, by these people with these type of mentalities that we're debating tonight. The issue is this. The United States jurisdiction is hinged upon the free exercise of their religion and the enforcement of it thereof, which is supposed to be nullified with Moors because treaties was made. The Christian doctrine of discovery, okay, is the sole basis of the jurisdictional claim and the origin of every territorial applicability statute in the states, okay? This is a fact. You can go to McIntosh or Johnson versus McIntosh, where the Native Americans, the American Indians, took the United States to court. Jurisdiction and authority here is based on the treaties you made with us. The United States came back and said, no, that's false. The Supreme Court came back and said that's false. It's based on the doctrine of discovery that we inherited from England, okay? So this concept that we're just supposed to want to be a part of their system, which may have been good for the people back in Noble Drew Ali's day, but that is not good for us of this era. When we look at what's going on in the world and politics, we're not saying don't vote on the local level. We wrote a bill that Moors never supported. Some people try to hate on it, but we included all Moors in it because we understand very well that you have to move in jurisdiction and outside of jurisdiction. Okay, we're doing things that is out of the realm and scope of the Moorish Science Temple. So we're not telling people don't mess with the temple, don't be members of it, don't associate with Moorish Americans. We're just saying if you want to correct your status, if you want to move in accordance and strive for some kind of independence and collectively strive for sovereignty, this is how you do it. We're not doing the same. We're not doing the same thing. We're doing two completely different things. Okay, so with that, I digress.
All right. So, brother, I did go above